It's Monday. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gatzo, and welcome to Race Birds coverage of Round 8, Championship Monday of the inaugural season of the ISRA Truck Series as we come to you tonight from California Speedway. Qualifying just underway, 3 minutes 20 seconds left to play. The Watchman, Mark Cohn, is at the top of the charts very early on here with a 176.546 mile per hour speed to go to the top of the charts. But we still have a big field left to qualify. And it's the nighttime is the right time for qualifying and racing here. These trucks look great under the lights here at the, well, now rest in peace, California Speedway. Watching George Anzaldo. He's provisionally on the pole right now with a speed of 179.1. Cohn comes back with a 179.7. George is now provisionally second. Richie Hearn, 179 flat. So apparently this track agrees with a lot of these guys' driving styles in this truck. Richie Hearn second lap, 179.5. Flanagan right there as well, 179.3. Just be in the box tonight, right now. Not sure if Mark is being held over in the IndyCar race or not over there on the open side. I believe they're at Long Beach this week. You can join us on the IndyCar side of things tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, as we go back to Gateway one more time. And we still got another Gateway visit to go, another week in the same week, because we got to go back to Gateway for a Dark Horse DW12 series. I think I've had my fill of Gateway. The rule set for tonight. No more Gateway. Yeah, Gateway, yeah. I'm kind of had my fill of Gateway. And again, I hate the track, but the track agrees with me because I got 2 wins there for some reason. 2-mile oval here tonight, 90 laps. Not a very long race, only 180 miles. We're going to determine a champion at the end of the night. We'll look at the points here in just 1 second. 3 sets of tires, 1 in the truck, 2 in the pits, 1 fast repair. Pit road speed limit is 55 miles an hour. Let's clear off some of these graphics. And we'll get into the point situation coming into tonight. There you go. This is the top 15. We'll give everybody a good idea of kind of where everyone stands. Leader coming into tonight is Lionel Callisto, Matty Wagner, P2, and then Michael Goodman, P3. I believe that these are the 3 that are going to be in contention for tonight's championship. I think Goodman needs a lot of things to happen for him first. A lot of prereqs for him to get into points championship contention. Wagner has got the next easiest route. So we will see. Callisto is your leader. But there's your top 5. Goodman, Crow, Hearn, Reagan, Say Hey, Lewis Hayes, and 7th, Rigney, JV, and Hugo Galez. That is your top 10. As you see, I got it all the way down through the 15th there. So you can see down through George how everyone is compared to everyone else. So there is still kind of a decent-sized battle right there for 12th, 13th, and 14th. Anyone can move a couple positions right there. Now let's get into the start of this lineup. All right. Here is your starting grid for tonight. Mark Cohn on the pole, the 179.7 mile per hour lap. Rigney sneaks in there while we're doing the points. Just misses the pole by 0.034 with a speed of 179.618. Rigney is second. Richie Hearn, P3. Matt Wagner, P4. Chris Reagan, P5. Pepto Joe Flanagan, P6. Say Hey Lewis Hayes, great run for him in the 7th spot. George Anzaldo, great run for him in 8th. Sam Crow, involved there in the top 5 in the points, looking to get a better move himself up into the higher parts of the standings in the top 5 there. He is 9th. Michael Goodman, also in that top 3, is 10th. Ron Hacker is 11th. Jimbo Pfeiffer, 12th. John Von Vor Ellis is 13th. Lionel Callisto, that's the guy we're watching tonight. He is 14th. David Rodriguez is 15th. And we had 2 cars that did not qualify or take any time. And I'm not sure if they're lined up or not, but they're not going to show up in the overlay. That's the thing here. Hugo Gallas is 16th. And Rick Fallis. Or Fallis. Hopefully I'm saying Fallis. That's right. That is a new driver, and he is ranked 17th on the lineup right now. We'll see if we actually see him out there when we go green. But that's our starting lineup for the final race of the inaugural season of the ISRA Trucks. If I could talk, that'd be awesome. ISRA Truck Series. Down the backstretch, give you an idea there is a watchman, Mark Cohn. A nice pole position, was in contention for at least one win this year, kind of lost it at the start-finish line. You know, kind of we'll do a season and review a little bit during the race today. Coming around to take the start here. At California, here we go. 17 trucks. Green flag in the air. And we're racing. Everybody still wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper, going down on the 1. See them all going through the gears. A little fire without coming out the exhaust there. Wait when these guys get down here next time when they'll fan out five wide. Richie Hearn already up to P2. Rigney down a spot, trying to get that one back. And a look on the outside going into 3. Richie shuts the door. Here comes Reagan. Down low. Rigney shuts the door on Reagan. Reagan floats out high. And Cohen at the line, barely. There's lap 1. Everybody with a purple lap so far. That's why all the numbers are purple. Those numbers will change. Hearn your leader now. Cohn P2, Rigney P3. Chris Reagan P4 riding along with Chris Reagan on top of the truck. They don't get out of the throttle very much here at all. Rigney just slides right up in front of him. A little bit of a 5-truck breakaway starting to form. This track is really fun in these trucks. Well, I've had a couple of truck races here in previous leagues, and had pretty decent success. Led some laps. I think it's a great flowing track for these trucks. Pepto Joe down below Reagan, trying to take a look at the spot. Say Hey Lewis Hayes breaking away from that second group, looking to join that first group. Draft is an equalizer here, big time. Rigney to the bottom. Gonna come off a 2, be right there on the rear quarter of Richie Hearn there. Now he makes a little room, gets in there, send Rigney up to P2, Cohn P3. Reagan and Pepto Joe battles for position right here, side by side for 4th. Still green flag. Lap 4. Oh, everyone doing a little close on that corner exit there. 3 wide now going in the 1. Also looking to join this group is George Anzaldo back there. And the plain blue wrapper number 6. He's working trying to join that first group. He's kind of breaking away from that second group a little bit. Matty Wagner back there leading that second group that has everybody involved in the points championship. The key players. There's Wagner. There's Callisto. Callisto losing the position right now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back in that Arizona T truck. Former winner this season. Pretty much, speaking of Gateway, put a exclamation point on that race and dominated that one. Purple lap right now belongs to Rigney. That's a 40.3 for Rigney. Starting to put some distance between that first group and second group. From Anzaldo back to Crow, who's leading that second group, 1.2 seconds. Riding on top of the lid here of Richie Hearn's truck. This first group is doing a good job of working well with each other, trying to get some distance from that second group. You see Richie Hearn racing 440 Racewear, longtime sponsor of this channel. Say hey, Lewis Hayes did a little bit of a blinking in and out there. Hopefully his connection stays fit. There's a lot of storms through the middle portion of the country going on right now. Hopefully no one is getting impacted by that. Sam Crow, Michael Goodman in a battle here. Here is our points leader, Lionel Callisto. I don't know if he's done the math where he knows he needs to finish. A very conservative approach so far. So, I guess the question is, and it's been the question for the last couple of weeks then, as we start looking at getting into a bit of a rhythm here, is how are the pit situations going to unfold? Of course, while we are racing NASCAR trucks and we will do double file restarts and that sort of thing, green white checkers, there is no stage racing, thank God. Never quite understood stage racing, to be honest with you, but these guys, a lot of them are open wheel drivers from the Lionheart series. As the Lionheart series taking a bit of a sabbatical this season. Again, say hey, blinking out there. Hopefully that does resolve itself. It can be kind of annoying as a driver behind the blinking driver. Almost an advantage for the one that's blinking. But hopefully that resolves itself. But is this going to be a one-stop race or a two-stop race? I believe I saw that we are at 100% fuel. I didn't see any fuel limitations. I only saw the tire limitations. So if they do a two-stopper, then it's lap 30, lap 60, and then home. If everyone does a one-stopper, then it's lap 45, then home. Looking at chat there, we got Tippus in chat. Someone races in the Dark Horse DW12 series. Not looking forward to Gateway. Gateway could be a rough track. It is very much a rhythm track. You would think the bottom of the racetrack there at Gateway is the fastest way around, and it is to a degree, but it's not when you're racing. When you're racing, really, it's that upper groove, kind of a lane off the bottom, lane and a half off the bottom. Just the thing you got to keep in mind, though, is when you're in turns 1 and 2, and if you're racing that high line, that turn 2 wall will come up and greet you rather quickly. And then also the additional issue that you're going to have in the DW12 is the no tools. If you wear out that right rear too much, when you do run that high line and you need to find out that you're exiting higher than you need to be, and you got to turn that wheel a little bit more, you will have kind of a snap loose off the corner. Truck's going to have the same situation there at Gateway. Watching a breakaway up front, Hearn, Rigney, Reagan, Flanagan, the Watchman Cone, say hey, Lewis Hayes in 6th, George Andaldo 7th. Starting to sneak up to this first group, getting organized, Michael Goodman, Sam Crow. They're going to get to the back bumper of George here pretty soon. So far, we've gone caution-free. If you are enjoying Race First coverage of the ISRA Truck Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash the bell and smash the like and ring the bell. There you go. Smash the bell anyways. So you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasting. We do have a lot of it. Tomorrow night, our signature broadcast, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, IndyCar Oval Series. Top split from Gateway once again. And then we will move on to at least we're talking right now to the ISRA about their Super Formula Light Series, about covering that. They are going to kick off their season this Wednesday, and we're thinking about covering that as well. But for sure, 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, the Formula Indy Series will be at Brands Hatch. And then this week is NTT IndyCar Series Race Week. So that means it is IIS Week here in iRacing. So we will be covering the IIS race from Long Beach at 2 p.m. on Saturday. That should be pretty exciting. One of the crown jewels of IndyCar racing and one of the crown jewels on the service. Currently watching Michael Goodman now as we mentioned, getting to the tailgate of George Anzaldo. Now getting underneath him. Starting to join this group now is David Rodriguez. The weather conditions right there in the upper right. 70-degree track temperature, ambient 68.2. There shouldn't be any weather issues tonight to cause any more tire dig than necessary. And while we're watching the battle back here, we got a big-time shuffle up at the front as we are kind of almost in flying in diamond formation there for a bit, these guys. Rigney to the front now. Hearn back to second. Cone in third. Reagan, and well, now we got Reagan to the bottom side, or to the top side. Reagan and Cone battle for third. And an interested viewer right now is Pepto Joe. Right around with Pepto Joe. There, rolling out of it, letting the truck settle. Four different lines right in front of him. Reagan going to have a big time run off the top there. Got his bumper in there right before Richie could come up, but I think he might have backed out of it a little bit. Richie's now clear, pulls up in front of him. Pepto not using a lot of throttle. This might help him on the fuel savings if he's going to go with a 1 or a 2 stopper. Cone trying to get clear on the high side there. Reagan not going to let him in. Reagan's right there. Pepto sucks right up to the tailgate. Going to give it a little bit of a bump if he wanted to. I think as wisely as thinks of it. Underneath Pepto Joe. Hear him roll out of it. I think he's kind of content on where he's sitting at the moment. He's got 3/10 back to say, hey, Lewis Hayes, Anzaldo, and Goodman. There we see Hayes. And then Anzaldo and Goodman are right behind those two, or right behind Hayes. Now also involved Sam Crow. The second group led by Wagner, Pfeiffer, Hacker, Callisto, JV Gallas, and Rick D. Saw his name and all I thought it was Rick D in the weekly top 40. There's Rick D right there. And the he's on the bottom, going on the apron. I think isn't that the it reminds me of that Vonage livery, I think, that Robbie Gordon drove. Hacker and Callisto battling out. Get back to that one right real quick. There you go. Here, all those bumps on that backstretch there, a little washboard action. That was kind of the signature of California Speedway. Of course, all that has been bulldozed now. Back up front, battle for the lead. Cone and Rigney side by side in the 1. Say Hey is all of a sudden in this directly involved in this battle now. He has worked his way to the tailgate of Pepto Joe, and right now he has a battling Pepto Joe and Richie Hearn in front of him. .24 of 90 in the books, caution-free so far. And this is pretty typical of a lot of this ex-Lionheart crew. Long green flag runs, often in complete races without a caution. That is their MO. If you like what you see here in the ISRA Truck Series, want to participate, I will drop a link in the chat there to join their Discord server. Well, and it's interesting, and when you're on Discord all day, literally all day, because I work in IT, and then when the race starts, then all of a sudden I start getting all the messages that roll in. Oh, boy. Here we go. I got some links for Discord here. Just spam the board a little bit. That will get you to the ISRA Discord server. So right now they are in the process of recruiting for, in 2 weeks, a Xfinity series. That'll be starting up, and their first race will be here at California. And then they're also recruiting for the Super Formula Light series, which is running on Wednesdays. And while we got a second, let's take a look at those schedules. Xfinity will start off here on the 29th of April, same time, 9:35 p.m. Eastern. Go Auto Club, Chicagoland, Richmond, Charlotte, Talladega. I was talking with Mike Rigney, who is one of the admins, or is the admin of the ISRA. He has Talladega scheduled for Memorial Day. We're going to move that back a week. But then Dover, New Hampshire, Atlanta, Kansas, Bristol. As he says, Bristol, baby. And the Bristol's not one of my favorite places. But I'm an IndyCar driver, so just too much chaos there going for me. Michigan, Las Vegas, Nashville, and ending the season off July 29th. So runs from April 29th to July 29th at Homestead. And roughly every race is no more than 150 laps. I think the most might be Richmond at 160, I think. Bristol at 150, yeah. So, not a very long. They're not very long races. So check that out. And then, of course, if you're interested in the Super Formula series, and this is Super Formula Lights. This is not the big car. This is the car right below it. Starting here in 2 days on April 17th, Canadian Tire. Monza, Hungaroring, which I don't even think I have that track yet. I'll have to download that one if we're going to broadcast it. Then they're going to go race these cars on the Milwaukee Mile. That will be interesting. And Michigan, then they'll go to Road Atlanta, Long Beach, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We'll just call it Montreal. Then they're going to race the Super Formula Lights cars at New Hampshire on the mile oval there. That'll be fun. Watkins Glen, Circuit of Americas, Motegi, but not the oval, the road course. Gateway, they will race the oval there. That should be a lot of fun to watch as well. Suzuka, and then rounding out on August 21st at Road America. So if you're interested in either one of those series, make sure to click on the link I provided in chat and join the ISRA series or Discord server and pick one of the series that you like to participate in. And they'll get you registered or tell you what to do to sign up. Top three right now: Cohn, Reagan, Flanagan, Hearn, and Rigney. 30 out of 90. And now we're looking at possible early. This is the two-stop window. And here they come. Here come the two-stoppers. So Cohn and Flanagan are going to be the first of the two-stoppers. Try to get the camera on them. There we go. So they're shooting for 30, 60, 90. That's what they're going to do. I'm willing to bet that the second group, that includes our points leader, Callisto, the MO for the last couple weeks has been for these guys to do the one-stopper. And look where Callisto is running. He is right up in that highest lane possible, trying not to turn that wheel and save those tires as much as possible. And Callisto turning 41.7s while the leader is turning 41.8s. So Callisto knows it. Here comes some more takers to pit road. So I believe that is Rigney, Goodman, and Rodriguez. That turns the lead over to Chris Reagan. There is on the apron, we see Mark Cohn. He's going down a lap. No penalties. It's just the way the things roll here. You just go down a lap if you go pit road. There's Pepto Joe. He's done. Back in 17th, down a lap. Here's some more cars coming off pit road. Yeah, all those cars are just, I think I just owed the jar. I keep calling them cars. I think I just owed the jar like 50 cents worth. So just toss all those in there. And all those trucks that just stopped, they are coming off of pit road. So we got Reagan, Who has not stopped? We'll go through that list real quick. Reagan, Richie Hearn, Say Hey Lewis Hayes. He is stopping right now. Matty Wagner is stopping, or not stopping, is on the racetrack. George Anzaldo staying on the racetrack. Sam Crow staying on the racetrack. Lionel Callisto, as we would expect, is staying on the racetrack. Gallas and JV also staying on the racetrack. So I suspect that these guys are going for the one stopper. So they're looking at lap 45, 46, somewhere in there to definitely make it to the distance. These guys that are doing the 30, 30, 30, and we'll look at those that just did that first stop, such as Cone. Cone will be pushing every single lap now from here to the rest of the race. His truck should be consistently faster than everybody else, just because he's going to be on shorter stints on these tires, and will be on a newer set of tires quicker than everyone else, or later than everyone else, excuse me. So he will be push, push, push. 10 laps to this second group starts to pit. Reagan, Hearn, Wagner, Anzaldo, Crow, Callisto, Gallas. That is your top 7. JV in there at P8. That is everybody that has not pitted yet. That is everybody but Chris Reagan coming to pit road. And kind of in a battle with Richie Hearn. George Anzaldo coming to pit road. And I wish my camera would change. There you go. There's JV coming to pit road. Everybody hitting their stall. See cars popping up the ground, getting a new set of Goodyear Eagles slapped on, filling the tank to as far as they need to go. They only need to get to whatever they're going to say their next stop is. They might be looking at a one-stopper as well, but I know 45 will get you to the one-stopper. Now our leader, Sam Crow. There he is from the drone shot going through California Speedway turn 1 and turn 2 on the bottom there. Trucks coming off of pit road with fresh rubber. They will be faster than Crow. We'll probably see them pass him relatively quickly. Matt Wagner on pit road. Can't see him, but he's there. There he is. In the Penske flavored truck. Lionel Callisto. Now Lionel Callisto is on pit road. I believe he's done. Yes, he is done. Now, can these guys get to the end? Sam Crow on pit road for his scheduled stop. So everyone has stopped. No one was able to get to the 45 mark, which makes me think that it's probably not possible to get to the 45 mark. So now we're still looking, I think we're looking at a 2-stopper for everybody now. Sam Crow still going to, on pit road, give up that position, but here comes Cone. There's Cone getting the position. So now Cone and Pepto Joe to the top. And they have put about 3 seconds between them and David Rodriguez in this second group right here, which is Rodriguez, Rigney, and Goodman. This next group, led by Richie Hearn by himself almost, Chris Reagan, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, Hacker, Rick D, Matty Wagner back there in 11th, Jimbo Pfeiffer, and our points leader, Lionel Callisto. So I got to wonder if these second guys, did they pit a little bit earlier just to get those new set of tires on and saying maybe they were hemorrhaging too much time, or they just couldn't get to the end? Cone and Flanagan stopped on 31. So they're coming to lap 40 now, 50 to go. 20 until we think that they're going to make their next pit stop. Excuse me, just taking a drink here. Good old Coca-Cola. And I'm not sponsored by them, but if anyone from Coca-Cola is listening, which I doubt, and would like to sponsor me, go right ahead. I can be as gratuitous as those NASCAR drivers every weekend as just happens to have time for their interview, and up comes the can or the bottle of Coke. Yeah. If you're just joining us, this is Race First Coverage, the ISRA Truck Series Championship Monday, coming to you from Fontana, where we completed 40 of 90 laps, now 41 of 90. You enjoy Race First coverage of tonight's race and would like to monetarily support us, please find the link to our GoFundMe campaign in the stream description. Tonight is the last chance to donate for our Truck Series broadcast. If you haven't done so already, a participant or just a regular viewer and enjoy the coverage, please hit our link in the description to our GoFundMe campaign and contribute. We certainly would appreciate it. We do realize times are tough, so anything that can contribute, any donation whatsoever, we certainly would appreciate it. But thanks for watching, and while you're at it, a couple things you can do for us. Click the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring the bell. We got a ton of racing action between now and the middle of June. Like, I was looking at the May schedule for us. Almost every day in May, we have something going on. Is this second group catching at all right now? Conan Flanagan, they might just be in a really good position where they just want to push, and kind of separate and just outrun the second group. Rodriguez, 2.9 seconds, now 3 seconds to this group. Just a little season in review. Chris Reagan. We'll get the camera on him real quick. Here's Chris Reagan right there. He won the opener at Daytona in a heck of a race. And now Lionel Callisto back here in 12th. Won the race at Atlanta. Dean Darth Maul, unfortunately not in the lineup. He won the race at Kentucky, pretty much dominated that one. Matty Wagner, we'll get the camera on him. He just makes up a position there on Hayes. Matty Wagner won the race that we had at Michigan. And David Rodriguez, of course, we were talking about that earlier. He put a stomping on everybody at Gateway. He won that race. Lionel Callisto, back to him again, won his second race of the season at Iowa, followed by Matt Wagner winning his second race of the season when we visited Dover. So we have a number of drivers looking for their second win, a couple of drivers looking for their, blinks out, looking for their third win of the season, but a lot of drivers still looking for that breakthrough. And up front are three of them actually. Cone and Pepto Joe have not won this year. Cone came very, very close. Michael Goodman has not, he's been on the podium but has not won in this second group here. First winner of a race this year, there is David Rodriguez. Rigney, no podiums or no wins, but he'd certainly like to be on the podium. A couple podiums this season for Richie Hearn. Now the one he's looking for, I think he's got a third and a second. He's really looking for that win. Chris Reagan right behind him. Of course, Richie Hearn being sponsored by that 40 Racewear. Sponsorship livery there. Very sweet looking truck. And of course, you can check out 40 Racewear. Oh, getting to the back bumper there. Rodriguez giving them a little bit of a hello. You can check out 40 Racewear in their made-for-sim racing line of gloves, shoes, and apparel. The 40racewear.com. I think that's 4D Racewear, W-E-A-R, right there on the truck, the lid of the truck, or on the tailgate, 4dracewear.com. Get gloves. The shoes are good stuff. And they also got that sponsorship with PitFit. That's a gym here in Indianapolis that trains a lot of IndyCar and NASCAR crew members. Also drivers as well. Their client list leads a virtual who's who of former Indy 500 champions and former Cup Series level drivers and champions there as well. Back up front. We're coming to lap 50 soon. We're past the halfway point. No one, the latest that anyone pitted, in case anyone's wondering, Matt Wagner at 37 is the latest, I believe. Sam Crow at 38. Hugo Gallas at 37. So Lionel Callisto at 37. So we'll expect them to go the absolute longest here on this time. And then maybe do a splash and go at the end. We'll see. This second group is not gaining on this first group at all. They've all been about 3 seconds, anywhere from 2.7 to 3 seconds behind. 3 different lines through turns 1 and 2 right there for that group as they all single file on corner exit. There's Matt Wagner in 8th, Lionel Callisto now in 9th. Callisto needs to stay close to Wagner. That's really the biggest thing for him in the championship. He doesn't need to win. He doesn't need to stay ahead of Wagner in order to win. He just needs to keep Wagner within view. Track conditions virtually unchanged. 70 degrees track temp, 67.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Battle between Rick D and Say Hey Lewis Hayes. Say Hey can get right to the white line there in the corner. He even crossed it a little bit. Truck must be handling pretty well. A lot of downforce these trucks have right now. They chose a package for a smaller track. So they are pretty fun to drive with fresh tires. You can almost keep your foot in it all the way around. Meanwhile, back up front, the Watchman Cone, Pepto Joe, your leaders. They're coming to lap 53 and probably about 7 laps away from their last pit stop. They are pushing, turning laps into 41s. 41.5, 41.6 for the duo. Hearn leading this next group. And he's kind of broken away a little bit now, Hearn has. 41.3. So they're gaining now. 41.2 for Chris Reagan. 41.3 for Goodman. So their tires are kind of in prime territory. 17 laps. Only 5 laps difference between the two in terms of age of tire between the two up front and this group right here. Two up front completing 23 laps on the current stint. This group right here, 18 laps in the current stint, with the exception of Goodman. Goodman was one of the early pitters as well. But Reagan and Hearn, they both are 18 laps on their current stint. Stint. And I shouldn't say it with a southern accent. I don't know why. I'm from the Midwest. We don't have an accent. Rick D working his way into the top 10. Like say, hey, starting to hemorrhage a couple positions here. Lost the position to Rick D, losing the position to Hacker. Maybe running the bottom might not be the best choice now at this time in the run. Let's see what he does. He's going to go high here. Yeah, he's going high. Right behind him, Jimbo Pfeiffer. Jimbo had a good showing in our recruitment race for the Super Formula Light Series. Look at him bounce down the back straight there. I am very thankful that this track has been captured in eternity by iRacing for scanning here, that we can continue to use it, because it's a shame that it's no longer around. Or it's around, but it's no longer as around as it used to be, if you know what I mean. They're shrinking it down to a half-mile short track. Like NASCAR needs another one of those. Hugo Galez down a lap, but he is on a strategy, so we'll let him stick to it. See how it boils down. He's also doing decently in the points. George Anzaldo. What happened, George? Missing his stall, but making a scheduled stop. JV, John Van Voorellis. He is in 15th. Rigney and Wagner swapping positions. We get back up to the leaders here as we are quickly approaching their final stop. The window will open for that stop here in about 2 laps. Cone pulling away from Pepto Joe. Pepto Joe now slowly falling into the clutches of Hearn and Reagan. Reagan and Hearn are, Reagan's putting that front bumper right up against Hearn's rear bumper and pushing him down the front straight as they are trying to be as slippery as possible. Hearn on the bottom, Reagan on the top. Good run down the backstretch. Pepto Joe now seeing that he's got some action coming behind him, starts to do a little bit of the snake to break the draft. I know maybe Pepto is coming to pit road. We'll see. Nope. This whole second group there, the third group right behind him, led by Goodman, is starting to reel them in. It's 59 of 90. Do we see the guys that pitted at 30 jump in again here at 60? And Pepto Joe again to the bottom. And sometimes that is a sign that they're going to pit 2 other drivers. And I believe that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, Pepto Joe coming in. He's going to make it right to 60 on pit road. Pitting that seemingly about a lap earlier than he did before. I would suspect Cone now is going to make that turn down pit road. 30 to go. And in case you're not sure what I meant by Pepto Joe making that low run down the backstretch, typically that's a non-verbal communication to other drivers that when you come off of 2, you kind of dip to the inside, kind of stay there. That's especially at the time when you know stops are going to be made. There's Pepto Joe coming off. That's kind of non-verbal to the drivers that you are going to make your turn down the pit road. Of course, they do share group comms here on the sim, so they can use the radio if they want to. They can also use a map, a hot button on their wheel somewhere that will tell everybody in chat in the text chat portion of the race that they are pitting, doing the pit in, pit out. Pretty standard for most leagues to at least announce that when you're pitting. So when you do kind of slow down, that truck behind you doesn't kind of run you over. Cone staying out. He's going long. But again, if he goes longer, the longer he goes, it's going to be a shorter fill to get to the end. Hernan, Reagan. Reagan's been living on that high side. I think he's trying to preserve those tires. Here comes Wagner. Wagner is getting into the picture now. He's kind of broken away from Rigney a little bit. And Lionel Callisto, there he is. Now, right there by Callisto, there is Pepto Joe. He is a lap down. So now Joe's in a situation where, even though, and I don't think we're going to see it unless there's some sort of a mechanical that happens to one of these drivers. When I say a mechanical, normally like a wheel error, VR error, PC error, something issue that causes them to wreck their truck and bring out a caution. He does not want to see a caution. That's about the only type of caution we're going to see right now. These guys are pretty well spread out and giving each other a lot of room. Of course, you know this. The surface here at Fontana extremely wide. Look how fast he is through 3 and 4. And, of course, there come Reagan. Here comes Hearn on pit road. Oh, Reagan. Did he get down to the limit? We'll watch him as he hits his stall. So Pepto Joe now wants to get out ahead of these two. That is the key for him. Pepto going through 2 down the backstretch. We'll check out Chris Reagan hitting his stall. This is their final stop. Here comes Joe. And he is going to make the move around. Lionel Callisto also on pit road as well. And he's going to make a big move around. And he gets his lap back from Mark Cohn. Move John Von Voorellis up to 3rd. Mike Rigney in 2nd. Matt Wagner on pit road. Final stop. He's in 4th. Here come Pepto Joe with Wagner on pit road. I think Joe's going to get the position. Yes, he is. I think this early stop for him is really cashing in dividends right now. Cohn still has not stopped. He is 35 laps on his current stint. He might be coming to pit road right now, looking at the attitude of the truck. Yep, he is coming to pit road right now. Getting off the banking, always tricky. A little bit easier in the trucks than they are in the IndyCar. IndyCar does not like to bend. Does not like bumps. Very stiffly sprung. Truck's a little bit different. So Cohn to pit road. That turns the lead over to John Von Voorellis. Going long, John. At lap 30 of his current stint. He went 35 in his first one, so he might have another 4 more laps that he wants to stay out here. But coming very quickly behind him, that is George Anzaldo, not on the same lap, but with mostly fresh tires. George pitted 10 laps ago. Pepto Joe getting around Cohn. Cohn coming off pit road, falling way back. That early stop, the overcut was huge here. The overcut was massively huge. This group right here needs to get in a line and try to run down Pepto Joe, who, when this group of pit stops is finally done, and our leader is John Von Voorellis right here. Well, maybe I might have called him Joe earlier. If I did, I mistakenly. I apologize about this, John. But Rigney tells him everyone calls him JV because it is a mouthful to say his last name. And I am the butcher of last names. I will tell you that. If last names were a fine meat, I would be the best butcher of that meat. There's no doubt about it. Does JV make this turn down the pit road this time by? Last lap of 41.8. Everyone else is turning 40, so everyone is making huge time on him. But maybe he knows something that we don't. He is a leader over Flanagan by 15 seconds. 20 to go, lap 70. Last lap was a 172, a 171.2. Flanagan, a 176.9. Yeah, JV last stop 35 laps ago. He has equaled what his first stint was. And coming through 4, is he going to make the turn down? Yes, this will be his turn down. Final stop. Hoping he gets slowed down. Woo! I don't think he slowed down in time. I'm not sure about that. He really smoked by those first set of cones. We'll see if he gets a hold here in the pit stop. My goodness. And Pepto Joe going on by, getting the lead as we suspected they would. We're just going to see for a second if JV got the error or got the penalty, and he did. It's ticking down 20 seconds, 22 seconds, 23 seconds. So speeding on pit road, that is pretty much going to end his day. But right now, we got Pepto Joe now with a 1.2 second lead over a fast closing Richie Hearn and Chris Reagan. Lionel Callisto is in there as well. Goodman is involved as well, not too far behind. Cone, who was our leader for much of the middle portion of this race, back in 6th, Wagner in 7th, Rodriguez in 8th, Rigney in 9th, Crow in 10th. The key names here, besides your leader, is Callisto in 4th, Richie Hearn. Just turned not too long ago the purple lap with a 39.8. That's why you see the purple next to his number on the tree. He is now 0.8 seconds behind the leader. The key name here is Callisto. In this black and, the Miller MGD draft truck. Sporting a little bit of damage there on the right side from kissing the wall. He's staying in the draft. All he needs to do, really, is just stay ahead of Matty Wagner in P7. And that is a championship. Signed, sealed, and delivered. And they have reached Pepto Joe with the big overcut. With the big undercut, he managed to work his way out front, but I think his tires are, they're not that much different. There's only 4-lap difference than what Richie and Chris have. But here comes Callisto as well. That 4-truck battle for the lead now. Here comes Richie Hearn to the bottom in the 4D Racewear truck. Richie looking for that win this season. Chris Reagan also looking for his second wins, coming with 2x2 off of 2 down the backstretch. Cone now is involved in the battle. .75 of 90. Hearn going to the high side now to try to get this position. Pepto back to fourth. Hearn now your leader. Starting to stretch it a little bit there at the line over Reagan. Reagan tucks back in. Pepto Joe filling that third slot. 3 wide between Joe, Callisto, and Cone in the 1. Cone faster on the bottom. Getting to the back bumper of Hearn. Hearn coming to the high side, kind of blocking Reagan a little bit. Or at least sliding up in front of him. I wouldn't call it a block necessarily. We're going to crack open the last Coke here. And get ready for a finish. And with the last set of pit stops done, once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Race First coverage of Round 8 and Championship Monday on the ISRA Truck Series, coming to you from Fontana, where Mark Cone, the Watchman, is back in the lead once again at lap 77 of 90 scheduled. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more of the next race. Next race here will be an Xfinity Series race as we kick off the ISRA Xfinity season. The inaugural season for that coming up here in 2 weeks, right here at Fontana. And also don't forget your commentary team by sending a donation by our GoFundMe campaign. Link is in the description. Today is the last time that you can contribute for the Truck Series. We certainly would appreciate it. Battle at the front as P2 and 3 are battling together. Mark Cone pulling away. I thought the undercut there with Pepto Joe was the way to go, but apparently not. But it looked very good. It looked very good. Here comes Wagner. Now Wagner to the back of Callisto now. That's a battle for the points championship. Wagner really needs to get out and win this race. He needs to pass Callisto and win this race really for the best chance for him to try to make up any ground in the championship. Before we get too far, again, we're just a reminder of the championship situation. 265 to 246. 265 to 246. And I believe they use the standard NASCAR point system, which I'm not super familiar with. I'm not going to pretend I know, but I will know. I do know that in order for Wagner to do anything, he absolutely, first of all, needs to pass Callisto here sometime in the next 10 laps and get to the leader and win the race. He needs to do as maximum as possible. Callisto just really needs to keep Wagner in his view. Oh, Chris Reagan up to the wall. How do you do? Everyone kind of scatters a little bit. They're back in single file line as Mark Cone starting to pull away. 1.4 second your leader. Had one race this season, he just got edged out there at the very end. In his post-race interview, did not sound very happy, but he definitely is walking his way toward a first win here that is overdue. Been on the podium a couple times. 82 of 90. Cone, Hearn, Callisto now. Callisto on the bottom step of the podium. Trying to work a way around Hearn, maybe so he can try to get Cone in the closing laps. It'd be nice to clinch the championship by taking the checkered flag of the final race and getting your third win of the season. There's only 8 rounds of this inaugural season of the Truck Series. So getting 3 of 8 is pretty good. Looking to the inside of Richie. Now Callisto to P2. Richie fighting on the top side. Coming back. Callisto not quite clear. Going to be a drag race down the backstretch. Cone your leader now by 2.1. Lionel cannot clear, so he gets back in line. Get back and try to draft by. Get the draft of Hearn. High side this time. Going to get himself a good run. Might have kissed the wall a little bit. This is Callisto. This is a battle between Hearn, Callisto, Reagan, Wagner, and Pepto Joe. Michael Goodman involved there as well. Then we're back a ways by Rigney by himself. Well, not really by himself. There's David Rodriguez. Then those two are by themselves. Here's Crow and Rick D. Hacker kind of by himself. Say Hey, 13th. Jimbo, 14th. George, last truck on the lead lap here in 15th. JV, unfortunately, by that speeding penalty now, first truck one lap down, and 16th. Hugo Gallas is retired. Lionel Callisto now has moved his way up to second on the high side over Hearn. Gonna have a good launch down the backstretch. Cone, your leader by 2.4 seconds, 2.5 seconds now. Coming to 5 to go. Five to go. Mark Cone just 10 miles away from his first victory here in the ISRA Truck Series. The former winner at Lionheart level. Looking to back up his performance here this season with a period on the season as a win. As far as I know, Mark has been involved in sim racing going back to the Papyrus IndyCar Racing 1 and 2 days. He and I might have actually participated in some leagues back then. We're talking 94, 95, 96, 97, somewhere in there. This is before online racing. We did what we called offline racing, where everyone raced, had the same conditions, same lineup, same number of cars, all identical conditions, and you would run your race, and then the fastest person to run the race would then be compared to, you take your time, you would compare it to everyone else, and that's what would determine your finishing status back in the offline racing days. Of course, if your race had a yellow at any time, it would pretty much ruin your race, and you'd have to run it over and then hope there was no yellows. But much like today, no yellow. Oh, and I just say about there, here's Callisto to the inside wall with Richie Hearn. Oh, contact. And that's exactly what Wagner was looking for. 3 to go, no caution, no caution. That drops Callisto to 11th. Now Callisto back to 10th. Uh-oh. That's Wagner up to second now. With 2 to go, is that enough for the championship? Is that enough for the championship? I can't believe it just changed that quick. In the closing stages, Lionel Callisto now down to 11th. Ron Hacker passes. I bet you those tires are pretty well spent. 2 to go. What a nightmare scenario. White flag in the air. Mark Cone. +20 years sim racing. Back using wheels before they had even force feedback. Back when everything was pixelated. Marcone, the Watchman, off at 3, through to 4. Heading to the main straight and looking at the checker flag for his first win here in the ISRA Truck Series. Your winner by 2.7 seconds, Marcone, the Watchman. And there's Matt Wagner finishing. Now, how's that change the points? Reagan in 3rd. Pepto Joe 4th. Goodman 5th. Rigney 6th. Rodriguez 7th. Crow 8th. Rick D in 9th. Hacker 10th. Callisto 11th. I think maybe Callisto did finish 12th. We'll see here. Oh my goodness, we'll get through the entire final standings here in just a moment. Looks like Cohen's doing a bit of the Polish victory lap, which I appreciate. Mark Cohen, your winner. 51 laps led here. Matt Wagner led 1. Chris Reagan finishing 3rd, led 5. Pepto Joe finishing 4th, led 4. Looked good there for a while, and the undercut there for the final stop, but the second group just ate him up. But getting a top 5 nevertheless. Michael Goodwin 5th, Rigney 6th. Rodriguez 7th, Crow 8th, Rick D 9th, and Ron Hacker 10th. Now you see everybody on a 2-stopper there. Rick D, he's up 8 spots. David Rodriguez, or D-Rod, we can call him maybe, I don't know. He is up 8 spots. Those are your biggest gainers of the day. Callisto 11th. That's going to be disappointing. Hearn 18th. Or led 18, excuse me. He is 12th. Say hey. Lewis Hayes 13th. 14th Jimbo. 15th George. 16th JV and Hugo Gallas 17th. And your final truck. This 17 truck field. You should be able to wheel that to victory lane. There we go. Pull it in victory lane. There we go. Let's see if we can get a better shot of him there. Oh, I should have left it. He punched out. Oh, well. Let's go ahead and let's queue up for the interviews here. And Chris Reagan should be, we'll talk to him first. And Wagner's second, Cone is first. So we will go into the interview room. And we'll bring up Chris Reagan here first. Hey, Chris, got you here in the booth with Gary. Tried to book in the season with a win, with another win. But you got the podium nevertheless. Tell us about your strategy and so close there at the end.
Yeah, what a fun race. You know, this series has been so great with all the clean racing, like hardly any cautions. With that first stint, Richie and I decided to just run it out. And we saw how big that undercut was from Mark. So the second stint, we pitted with like 9 laps of fuel left. Mark was just on fire tonight. He drove really good. He was able to drive that low line a lot, and I can't figure that out. But yeah, I'm really ecstatic about it. I wanted to get back on that podium before the end of the year. I struggled the last couple races, so I'm really happy.
Well, like I said, you got that first win this season. You kind of bookend it with another podium. It looked like that your strategy was pretty sound, but man, you're right. Mark was in another zip code. It looks like with the way that he was able to get around this place. But I think it sounds for that way that you're pretty happy about how this thing turned out. So anybody you want to shout out to, say hi to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, definitely. Again, thank you, Rigney, for putting this on. This was a great little series since we didn't have our Lionheart stuff. I'm super glad, George and all the other Lionheart guys got in here. We had some new guys that I've never raced with, which were really good as well. Lionel, man, that dude was on fire this season too. He did amazing. So other than that, just thanks to my teammate Richie, and I can't wait for the season to start back up again.
All right, well, we'll catch you in a couple weeks we're going to see you in Xfinity.
I'm going to try. I have some real life racing stuff going on, so any race that I can be at, no matter what car it is with this series, I will be at any one of them because I love racing with these guys.
Well, there you hear. Well, hopefully we'll see more Chris Reagan in the Xfinity Series, or maybe in the Super Formula Light Series coming up. But congratulations on the third place finish. It should help you in the points a little bit. You finished ahead of, let's see, everybody you really needed to, with the exception of Wagner. So maybe you'll make a little room and maybe make it into the top 5 here in the final standings. We'll see. I'm hoping Rigney posts them here so we know what's going on, because there was a moment there with Callisto to the end, and I'm not sure if Callisto hung on. He should have. It's going to be close, though, but I do want to see where everyone finishes. So congratulations. I'll stop rattling my head off. I'll let you go, man, but congratulations. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks. One more thing.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much for doing this for our league. All the broadcasts I go back and watch, you do a very good job, and when you have help too, it's been great. So thank you as well.
No problem. Today was solo, so I had to do a little bit myself, but you guys made it real easy by putting down some good racing out there. So thank you very much. I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.
See ya.
All right. A very appreciative Chris Reagan there. We'll take a look here at Matt Wagner. And I'm sure we'll bring him in. Hey, Matty, got you here in the booth. I don't know the math yet, but last 2 laps, things might have changed. Great race for you. You were just kind of that first stint there, kind of hanging out in the back. And then you hit the pit road, got the new tires on, worked your way up to the mid-pack. Then the last pit stop, and all of a sudden you're up there with the leaders. It's like you planned it that way. Come on, man.
Yeah, I planned it that way. I wanted to have the freshest tires out of everybody come out of the pits. That worked wonders for me. I think I had about 2, maybe 4 or 5 laps fresher tires than everybody else, except for Callisto. He pitted the same time I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit worried when he pitted the same time I did. I was like, oh God, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. So I'm like, no, it was very eventful when I looked in my mirror and I saw that happen. I was like in shock.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, but I don't want to win it that way. That's not how I win things. I don't know. I don't like to win things that way. That's just me.
Oh, we'll have to see. I'm waiting for Rigney to update the points. Rigney, if you can hear me, update the points.
He said he's working on it. So
yeah, but I think it's going to be close. I'm not sure, but I agree with you. I mean, all things being fair, you definitely want to have a fair fight there at the end, and he kind of had an MO all season long, where at the end when you were in the final, everyone's in that final stint, he just kind of had a way of kind of rising to the top. But so did you, for that matter, and had the new paint job today. That looked good. But anybody before we let you go, anybody I want to shout out to, say hi to before we let you go, because you earned an opportunity here, man. Finishing second, and at the very least, second tonight, second in the series, maybe more. We'll see. But you definitely earned some shouts. So go right ahead.
yeah, I'm sitting here parked on the front stretch, just kind of waiting. Anyway, speaking of some of your guys in the chat, I was sitting there. I just pulled it up. Thanks for rooting against me, Gael. I'll remember that when we broadcast together on Sunday. Trust me, I'll remember. But I'm glad Mark won. Since we've been running this league, me and him have been talking a lot to kind of build more relationship, and a really good friend, and I'm really glad he won this race. It means a lot to him. So congrats to him. My guys at TWR and their setup shop, love you guys back there. And Mike Rigney for putting on a great league. This was so much fun. I can't wait to hop in Xfinity car and do it all over again. And Mark Murphy, how come you didn't show up? You showed up last night.
I don't know what happened.
You don't show up tonight.
I don't know if he was racing long at Long Beach and Indy Open. I don't know. He's not here, so I had to do it solo. But it wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, come on, Mark, throw me a bone.
Yeah, exactly. It's been fun. Whatever happens, happens. So, did the points update yet? Did he get it?
We'll do a refresh here. Yes, they have updated. Callisto 293, you 284.
293, 284.
Yep.
Hey, congrats to him.
You gained some, but not all of it, unfortunately. But still, that's a great run for you, man. Great run for you.
Yeah.
We're happy for you.
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for the black flag at Gateway, I remember that points could have been a little bit more tighter.
Yep, it sure could have. All right, well, congratulations, man. Go celebrate. Second place is nothing. There's a whole bunch. There's nothing to be too upset about because there's a whole bunch of other guys there that kind of wish they'd be in second place as well. So go celebrate.
That's
it's
true.
worth it.
Thank you, bud.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Yep.
All right, let's bring up and Lionel Callisto's still in chat. I want him to stay there. If you can hear me, stay though. We'll bring you up for the championship here. But we want to bring up the race winner, Mark Cohn, the Watchman here. Man, long time in coming. We were talking in the broadcast when you finished on the podium a couple weeks ago. On that very close finish, you didn't sound happy at all. Yeah, it's almost like that you really, really wanted that win and just so close yet so far. This one, you kind of put an exclamation point on this one because you put a spanking down the field on this last stint, pulled away, and really made this race yours. I would imagine that you're pretty happy right now.
Yes. I don't know what more I could have done there. That was the one time where everything really came together, and I just can't believe it. It's really special.
We'll talk about your race. You went. You and Pepto Joe were looking like that you were going to do well. At first, we weren't sure if everyone was doing a two-stop or versus a one-stop that we kind of done in the past here in the last couple of races. I think the fact that we're on a super speedway made it so everybody had to stop with two. But you guys came in very early, right at lap 30, which indicated you were going to do the 30, 60, 90 type approach. You went a little bit longer on that second stint, and then you came out and had fresher tires than everyone else and just really blitzed them in that last stint. When did you come up with the pit strategy, or did you decide at some point in the race that you were going to change that strategy?
So originally I was going to go 30, 60, and 90, but at around 30, I felt like my tires, I had used them a bit, but I was doing okay conserving. So I pitted then, expected to be totally blown off the road. And when I was still able to hold a gap, I just decided, why not stretch it out? I still have that gap. Maybe it'll work. And by some miracle, it did. I did not expect to get back up there even. But so you could imagine my surprise how it ended up.
You were fastest truck on the racetrack virtually the entire night. So if you didn't win, something would have been criminal involved probably. So congratulations on the win. I know you got some sponsors, some friends, family, some teammates you want to shout out to. So go right ahead. You got the mic. Take your time.
Yeah, first off, Gary, thank you for the kind words. I do really appreciate it. Sponsors, Bobby Legs Loves Watches, Wrong Time Watch, Hans Wildork, DeWars Fine Candies, SimLab, Nizumi Studios, Sam Maxwell Customs, MC2 Editing Services, and Sim Racing Studio. And lastly, I just want to say it's been a really tough month for my family and I. We suffered a huge loss, and our good friend Royce, I just want to dedicate this win to her because she did so much for so many people while expecting so little for herself. And I hope more people in the world can even be 10% more like her. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry for your loss, but congratulations on the win. Hopefully we'll catch you in one of the other upcoming ISRA series real soon.
Thank you. Yes, we'll be back on Mondays for Xfinity for sure. And
All
also
right.
thank you and the broadcast group at Raceverse. You guys do an awesome job.
No problem. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. We'll catch you in Xfinity, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And we'll take the Watchman down in the chat, and we'll bring up the series champion, Lionel Callisto. Bringing him up here in the booth. Lionel, congratulations on the series championship. It had to be a little bit of a heart attack going on there with 2 to go, you and Richie racing, and then all of a sudden that truck gets hooked and you're going to the inside wall. Thankfully, everything worked out for you, but it was a close moment of drama there to add to on top of what was already a pretty exciting race. You put yourself in position to win, still won it, but almost it was taken away.
Oh yeah, it was very close. I thought I was gonna be able to save it, but yeah, unfortunately it was a little bit of a net code. It still had like 2 feet away from Richie, but yeah, it was just racing. We were just racing hard. It was pretty fun. It got pretty close. I wouldn't be able to catch up with Mark towards the end. My tires were falling off pretty quick. Car was getting a little too tight on the exit. I think I was pitted not way too early, but a little too early. I wish I would have stayed out. That would have given more of a fight, but I'm happy with the results. Happy with the win, with the championship. Yeah, that was fun.
So 2 wins this season, and then pretty much I don't know what the average finish for everything was. I think we do have that stuff, but you kept it clean and green. Of the 8 races, only 12 total incidents. Which says that you're keeping it off people, keeping it off the wall. Pretty clean racer there. Michael Goodman, I don't know how Michael Goodman did it. He only had 1 incident the entire season. That says something in a truck series, especially when we raced at Iowa for 1 race. But 10 bonus points, which really at the end of the day kind of was the difference. Because it was 293 to 284 over Wagner. If you didn't get those 10 bonus points, you probably would have lost by 1. So bonus points matter. But a great run, a consistent run. Congratulations. We're going to see you back here for Xfinity, so maybe you can back this up in a car that doesn't have a truck bed in it. But what shout outs you have, friends, family, sponsors, anybody you want to say hi to, go right ahead. You are the series champion, so you can take the mic as long as you want.
Pretty much thanks to everybody that's involved with the league. You guys doing the broadcast. But yeah, it was fun. Great season. Looking forward to the Infinity Series next season, and yeah, it was exciting.
Well, it sounds like you might still be in a little shock. So what we're going to do is we're going to let you celebrate and let it sink in. And when we talk next, hopefully it's in one of the other ISRA series, whether it be Super Formula or the truck or the Xfinity. But congratulations, man. Very good performance. You guys get a trophy in the whole 9 yards out of this. So something that you could always remember on a bookshelf or next to your computer or next to your rig. So congratulations. You earned it, and we hope to see you in the next one and possibly defending the title if we do another season of this.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and kind of bringing up the extended point standings here from supplied to me by the league. Yeah, he had 10 bonus points. So did Wagner, and that could have been the margin of victory. Only 9 was the margin of victory over Wagner. 2 wins. And I'm going to compare that also to Wagner's 2 wins. The biggest thing, and I think Wagner might have a point that the black flag might have been an issue because Callisto had 6 top 5s versus Wagner's 4 top 5s, but both had 7 top 10s. So in terms of laps completed, Callisto completed 1 more lap than Wagner over the course of the campaign. I believe he completed the most laps overall, which really says something about, if you have an issue or your truck's just not driving right or whatever, just stay at it, keep making laps, and those matter. He completed 890 laps over the series of this league, and we had something along the lines of 3,560 turns that he accomplished here. These are some nice extended stats. Completed 1,294.4 miles of racing, which I believe is also the most of anybody in the league. Average incident per race was a 1.5. So again, he's not going to be leaning on you too much. Just good set of stats here for him to get this championship, and just you keep it clean and green and you win, and or you keep it clean and green and you put your truck in a position to win. So congratulations to him and everybody that came out and kind of just stood in for this, kind of a substitute to the Lionheart Series as they take a sabbatical, and we will hope to see him in 2025. Maybe we see something else of the Lionheart Series. Maybe we see a Lionheart Truck Series. Mike, George. I don't know. We'll see. But that's it for me for tonight. Done rambling. Again, that's what happens when I'm the only guy in the booth sometimes, is I get, there's no one there that can say, hey, shut up, Gary. So we'll take care of that right now. That's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here at California. If I can get all this stuff off my screens here. Mark Cohn with his first win. Well-deserved. Matt Wagner with another podium, so close to the championship, only 9 points. Chris Reagan with another podium this season, backing up his win to kick off the series way back 8 weeks ago. Wow, 2 months ago now at Daytona. And Driver X, well, that Driver X is Lionel Callisto. Lionel Callisto is your champion. He wins the war and becomes the ISRA Truck Series inaugural champion. Join Race First again in 2 weeks for round 1 of the ISRA Xfinity Series. Again, if I could talk. The thing is, if I could talk, I talk too much, so maybe that's not a bad thing. But the teams of drivers are going to stick around here in Fontana, and we'll kick off the season here in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel. Coverage starts begin at 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. Again, 9:35 p.m. Eastern. And as always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything you need right here on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. Now, as you know, the weekly the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, and it's a weekly grind, really, believe me, trust me. So help support Race First with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And those that are in chat that spoke up, really appreciate your time being a part of the broadcast. So make sure thumbs up there. And get that subscribe. And if you are new, click subscribe for us, will you? And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more Race First, other iRacing programming. And also, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please donate. Really, it means a lot if you can. But not everyone can. We realize times are tough, so we appreciate whatever you can give. This is the final time for the Truck Series, and we'll start a new campaign for the Xfinity Series here in a couple weeks. Keep your browsers set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge and all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means, even though we're racing trucks and Xfinity. We'll figure it out. For business inquiries, learn more about Race First or what we do, visit racefirst.com, or like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Check out these new Twitter icons right here at the bottom of the screen. Boom, boom, boom. Race First, myself. There's Mark's, if you could read it. Gets kind of, but you can zoom in on it after the race. So for Mark Murphy, even though he's not here, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gotza saying all good night. Thanks for watching. And to all our men and women serving the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless. Come home safe. Once again, congratulations to Lionel Callisto for winning the championship. Catch us again right here in 2 weeks as we kick off a new series right here in Fontana for the next race of, or the first race of, the ISRA Xfinity Series. Good night.